to create my branding, create a logo and everything that goes into, making our store look nice and branded and legit. So the first step in making a brand is finding your domain name / brand name. And the way I like to do this is through ChatGPT. And as you guys can see here, we actually have a prompt right here in this document for you guys that you can simply copy and paste. And so we'll go over to ChatGPT and I'll show you what happens. So as you guys can see right here, I just inserted the prompt into ChatGPT and, told it to give me 15 to 20, domain name suggestions. We're looking for, things that sound brandable, but, not generic, not like super niche down, so we can use them for multiple products and niches. So I'll kind of show you guys some examples here. This is what it spit out for us. So we got, Velmora.com, we got, Silvoa, Drivana, and all these brands all these brand names, they sound good and they look good, but they don't actually mean anything. So we can be very flexible with what we're selling under these brand names, which is what I love to do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take a look, and I believe for this I picked Nuvora.com. All right, so now I'm gonna check if it's available. I just went to GoDaddy. You can register your domain name, but we're not gonna be doing that here. We're just gonna be checking if it's even available. So I'm gonna do Nuvora.com and see if that's available. So as you guys see, I just checked to see if Nuvora.com is actually available. It wasn't, so in this case, I'm gonna have to use a different domain, but this is just something I like to do to verify if I can use it or not. But I'm still gonna stick with this brand name. I personally really like it. It's clean, it's simple, it sounds good. It ends with like a vowel, which I always find just sounds a little bit, I don't know. It sounds like a good brand when it ends with a vowel, Nuvora. Like that just sounds good to me. So, use your intuition there. And then also it's pretty short. It's only 6 letters. I don't like to make, long names just because, I don't know, I don't think it looks as clean personally. So we're gonna go with this. All right, so the next thing I like to do is use ChatGPT to give us some good fonts that we can use for our logo, because for the logo, I keep it really simple. I don't like to make this, elaborate, like, design or something like that. I like to just do font, like a simple font that looks clean, looks good, and just do like black and white. And I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. But first, this is the actual prompt that you guys can use. It's the AI logo prompt. And as you guys can see, you need to insert your niche so that it's gonna give you the right information for whatever product you're selling. So I put in fitness because we're selling that vibration plate. And as you guys can see, it spit us out some fonts here. And I took a look through these, and what you can do is you can just go into something like Canva. I like to use Canva personally. And you can just do this. You just literally go over here to text, add heading. You want to type in your brand name, obviously. And then here you can type in fonts. I believe I went with Babes Nue or something like that. Not sure how to say that. I think that looks really good. And this is what I actually ended up using for our store. And what you want to do now is just make sure that it, obviously fits well within this box. When you're making a logo, make sure to use obviously a landscape style box, like this white part right here. Make sure that's landscaped and pretty thin as well, because if you make it closer to square, it's just not gonna look good in Shopify. So I highly recommend it. For this one, I used, let's see if I can find the actual size I use. It's not gonna tell me, but it's, a pretty wide design. So just, go up here, redesign it, and make it look nice. And basically what I'm gonna do now is I'll center this, and then I'll just press on the plus sign and kind of have it, fill out this box pretty well, something like that. Make sure it's centered, and that's our logo. So now all you got to do is come over here, download. Make sure it's a transparent background for this one, because you never know what kind of color we're gonna be using in the back. So we don't want there to be like a white box and then a gray background or something like that. So all I do is simply download it, and then boom, now I have a logo that I can put, on my products, on my website, and now guys, we have a brand. So guys, before you move on, make sure that you use these AI systems that we have in place, these prompts, to create your store name, create your logo, so we can move on to the next video, which we're gonna be filling out Shopify, making sure our store is ready to run ads and get sales. I'll see you there. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys everything you need to know about how to set up your online store. And as you can see on the screen right here, we're going to be taking our stores from looking like this to looking something like this. And to do this, we're going to use a site called Shopify. And Shopify is what everybody uses. It's the best e-commerce platform in the game. We use it on the case study store. We use it, I've used it for my $1 million a month store as well. And if you guys want to use Shopify, which I definitely think you should, make sure you go to the link in the description to sign up and start your free trial today. So let's get into this. So as you can see, we have created an optimized store checklist for you guys. And so you can simply follow along, check off everything that you need to do. And then before you know it, your store is going to be ready to start running. So first things first, we're going to do our name and logo. We're going to go over to settings. As you can see, we're just in the Shopify dashboard, press settings. And then under general here, it's gonna have store details. My information's already filled out, so all you gotta do is press that edit button and then change your store name, enter in an email and a store phone, and then that's your store name done. And then to add your logo, it's super simple. Just go to online store. You're gonna already have a pre-built store ready to go. As you can see, mine's already done, but I'll show you guys exactly what we did. So all I did was go to settings right here, logo, and then you can just simply press change logo and then select from library. If you have it done with ChatGPT like we did in the last video, you'll just slide it over from your downloads into here, and the next thing you know, you're gonna have a logo. I recommend doing 100 pixels, 100 pixels for the size. As you can see here, we're in the desktop view. Let me get the mobile view up. And it just looks a lot better. I think at the beginning, it might have been at 50. And to me, that's just a little too small. I want it to be more noticeable. So I like to do like 100. That's what I personally do. And that's our name and logo. Super, super simple, super easy. So we can check that off. Next thing we're gonna do is add our product and add our pricing. So to add a product is pretty simple. So we're gonna click exit. We're gonna go over to the left side of Shopify, as you can see on the screen. We're gonna press products, and then you simply go to the top right and press add product. And then here you'd put in your product name. For description, I leave that blank. I used to do descriptions, but now I'm just kind of like using the Gem Pages theme to fill that out and to make that look nice. I'll show you guys what I mean in the next video. But for now, you can leave this blank. And then we don't have to worry about images yet. And all we're doing right here is just adding the product and adding the pricing. So as you can see, we have pricing down here. And a lot of people might not know what to price their product at. So I'm gonna show you exactly how I do this. What I like to do is go to Amazon. So I'll pull up Amazon really quick. And we're gonna be doing this for the vibration plate. So as you guys can see, we're in Amazon now. And we're just gonna simply search up vibration plate. And the first listing, first off, I think we talked about this in the last video. It's selling like crazy, but they're selling it for $94. And in my experience, I found a really good range is to sell it for anywhere from 25 to 40% more than Amazon sells it, because Amazon, they don't pay for ads. Like these listings, they're not paying for ads, so they can have a very, a lower gross margin on their product, which basically means, what the difference is between their, cost of goods, so how much it costs to get to this product from China to the customer, and their product price. But basically, I just, I'll look at this number, be like, it's 95, and then I'd maybe go over to, Google and just be like, 95 times, we'll just do 30%, which would be 1.3. And it would give us, a price of $123.5. I'm gonna round that up to $129.99 just for testing, and that's what I do. Most of the products that you're selling are not gonna be this price range. Most of the products I've sold have been in the price range from $30 to probably $50. That's like a sweet spot that I found. This is a higher ticket product, and for higher ticket products, you can get away with a little bit of a lower gross margin. But for this one, we're gonna keep it simple, keep it sweet. I want to show you guys one more, like just a normal product, so you guys can see. Well, I'll just show you the dog chews. So right here we have the flea and tick prevention dog chews. This is exactly what I was selling in the case study. And as you can see, they're only selling it for $20 on Amazon. And in my case study, I ended up selling it for $39.99. So I actually doubled the price. So this is why it's super important, not to just stick to the 30% rule. I would highly encourage you guys to, try different pricings out. You can do this, with different apps on Shopify that allow you to A/B test, but changing your pricing and making sure it makes sense is super important, so I just didn't want to miss that. But now we have our pricing, so I'm just gonna go back into Shopify really quick, and we'll do $29.99, and then for the time being, I always like to just do a 2x markup, so we're just gonna do $259.99 right here. Press save. Actually, before we press save, you can untrack this. We do not need to be tracking quantity because we do not hold inventory. So you can uncheck that and then simply press save. We'll actually put the vibration plate name in here, just like that, and then simply press save, and we are good to go. So that is adding our product. So now we can go back over to the checklist. And then now we just got to make sure we sort out our domain, and I'll show you exactly how we do that. So we go down into settings and then click on domains here. And then, I already have our domain, trynouvoir.co, as you can see, but I'll show you guys exactly what I do. So you just click buy new domain, super simple, and you just search for whatever you want. So like if you're doing like something like Ziptara, .com or something like that, just search it up. You want to make sure that it's available. And if it's not available, for example, this one's not, you can always throw like a little something in the front. I don't recommend using anything else besides .com or .co. Those are the two best domain ends or whatever you call them. So make sure you stick to those, but you can do like try Ziptara, for example. And then usually that will be available. And then you just simply buy it. It is $16 a year, which is not too bad because you guys, with the strategy, you're going to be printing, so you don't need to be worrying about that. So then you'll just simply buy it. It's going to take some time to actually get set up and become live on your store, but then eventually you will have a new domain name. So that's how we do domains. So we can check this off as well. And next, I'm going to talk to you guys about policies. And policies are very, very overlooked when it comes to setting up new stores for beginners. And I want to make sure you guys know that it is very important to have these set up because this basically saves you from a lot of legal liability. And you guys don't want to be running into all these different issues. Because when you start getting more orders, you're focused on getting more orders, right? You're like, wow, I'm actually printing right now, I'm making more money. You're not thinking about your policies, so it's super important that you set them up right away so you just don't forget. And it's super simple too. All you gotta go in here is press insert template, and then just fill out, switch out these emails, fill out the return address. You can switch this will say 30-day, I switched it to 60. I do 60 because it's just a more enticing guarantee, in my opinion. I always do 60. And then the privacy policy will be automated, don't gotta worry about that. In terms of service, just insert the template and fill it out. Same with the shipping. Actually, shipping, they don't give you a template, so you can literally just ask, ChatGPT, just type it up, be like, yo, ChatGPT, give me a template for a shipping policy for my brand Nirvani, and just, make sure that it knows that you're doing drop shipping, so it'll get these, shipping times correct. And then just contact information. I believe this is already preloaded, but if it's not, you can insert the template and fill it out. Super, super simple, and that's how to do the policies. You don't gotta overthink it. It's simple as that. Next thing we're gonna do is shipping. Shipping is pretty cool. So we just go over to shipping and delivery. Here you'll just have general shipping rates, and then you'll want to set up a custom profile. As you guys see, I already did one, but I'll do another one in this video just to show you guys what I mean. So you just press create, and then you'll name it something like, you could just do Nirvani shipping or something like that. A lot of people overcomplicate the shipping process. You don't gotta just don't overcomplicate it. Just follow exactly the steps I'm doing, and then you'll be good. And you guys will see what I mean when we do this. So I'm just gonna select the VibroCore vibration plate, and then for the shipping zone, we need to make sure we're doing North America. Most of you guys are going to be advertising in North America, which is what I highly suggest for beginners. It's a huge market. It's, a lot of people are buying stuff all the time. It's very beginner friendly. So now we got our shipping zone set up. For these fulfillment locations, you don't really have to worry about that. It honestly doesn't matter. It's gonna get fulfilled no matter what, but this is more for tracking services. But if you want to put AutoDS or whatever we're gonna be using, you can do that, but I usually just don't mess with it. I just let it do whatever it does, and then I'll just go down here and add rate. And these are the actual shipping rates that people are going to be seeing in your checkout. So it's important to have these set up. For me, I always do custom. And then for the first one, I'll just do standard shipping. Keep it pretty simple. For this, you can just do tracking number provided, and then I usually do like $2.99. This is something you can test later, but for all the stores that I start out with, I always do $2.99 for standard shipping. Press done, and then we're gonna add our express shipping, which is a custom rate as well. Express shipping. This will just be our priority processing, which means that these orders get priority when they're placed, so they're gonna be processed first. That's what I always do. And for this, I do $7.99, and then the next thing I do is another custom, and we're gonna set up our free shipping threshold. So this one's a little tricky. Let's set it up first, and then I can explain why we're doing this. So we'll just put in free shipping, right? And then we can do orders, or on orders, we'll do 150 plus, 150, and then put a plus sign. And then we're gonna leave it at 0, and then add conditional pricing based on order price, and then we'll put 150 at the minimum price. And so basically what this is gonna do now is anytime someone is checking out with a cart total of 150 or higher, they're gonna be getting free shipping. And because our product is priced at $129.99 up front, this is gonna entice people to buy too, because they're like, okay, if I get another one, then I won't have to pay for shipping. So it's really that simple. That's why I do it. So you don't need to do 150. If you're doing like a $30 product, do like $50 minimum price, and like make the free shipping available to orders 50 plus. You just want to base it off of like how much one unit costs, if that makes sense. And then we're just going to press done. And now we have our shipping all set up. Now I'm just simply going to press save, and we are chilling. So now we got our shipping done. The next thing we're going to be doing is Shopify payments. This is pretty easy. All you got to do is go to payments on the Shopify settings, just like that. And then on the screen, as you guys can see here, I already have this set up, but basically what you do, it will like give you an option in here to, create an account or to start getting set up. And you're gonna have to enter in, some personal details like your credit card, your birthday, your social. And the reason you have to do this is because Shopify, like, it's a legit business. Like, it needs to know that you are a real person, that you're not gonna be scamming people. So it's just gonna quickly scan your information, verify you're a human being, and then it's gonna set you up with an account. And it's like super simple. It takes probably 2 minutes to fill out, and then it's gonna take like 5 to 10 minutes for Shopify to verify everything. And then next thing you know, you're gonna be set up. And this is how you're actually gonna be receiving money that you are getting in your store from orders. So this is very, very important. Make sure you set this up, or else you're just not gonna be getting paid. So just make sure to do that. Next thing we're gonna do is homepage. Okay, so for the homepage, we're simply gonna go back into our store, go to Shopify, and then online store. All right, press customize, and then here we are. We're on our homepage, as you can see at the top. So this is gonna look a lot different to you guys. It's gonna look, something like this. But basically what we're gonna do, we already did some of it. We already put our logo in here. We're going to, switch out these pictures. So what I did, because we're selling a vibration plate, is I wanted to find some pictures that are relatable to the fitness niche. And the way I did that was simply go press on this image in the right corner. Make sure you have this selected, obviously. And then you press change, and then you can explore free images here. And then you can search up fitness, just like that. And there's gonna be all these images here. So as you can see, I use this one. Super, super simple. Doesn't have to be the perfect image. 98% of your traffic goes to a landing page or your actual product page, not the home page. So it's not like the most important thing to set up, but it is good to make sure that you have a branded looking site. So I always like to do it just to make sure that everything looks clean. And that's pretty much all I did. And then as you can see on this, they have like a bunch of random products and stuff like this, and they make it kind of long. I like to keep my homepage really simple, really clean. So for the colors, I'll keep it black and white, make sure the buttons work. To make sure that button works, it's a shop now button. I'll click on this, and then under button label, it's gonna say shop now, and then usually this would take it somewhere else. You're gonna have to switch it to make sure it goes to your product. So we're gonna click on that, hit products, and then make sure we have the right product selected. We're doing the VibraCore plate, so just select that, and then if you click on this, that's gonna send you to the product page, which is exactly what we want. So make sure you have that set up for that button, this one right here, and then for these headings, you can simply just go to ChatGPT, enter in your product, and be like, hey, can you give me some, good headings for my homepage that I can use for X product? And it's gonna spit you out some stuff. So for me, it said slim down with ease, feel the vibe, sculpt the body, So I just simply, basically copy and pasted, switched them out. This is another picture we found from the image library. I just showed you guys how to do that. So it's literally the same thing. With this theme that you guys get imported into your store, it's gonna come with this, and it's pretty broad. Like if you want, you could change out the text. For me, I didn't do it because it makes sense. Like this gadget is so handy, like that I could use that for my product. So I didn't really have to switch that out. Some of you guys might actually have to do that depending on what product you're running. So make sure that you don't forget to do that. And then I believe this was blue on this screen. So I actually got rid of a lot of this section. As you guys can see, you just don't need that much. You just want a really simple homepage. So I just get rid of like 90% of the sections, keep like some of the simple stuff, keep the contact form. And then usually if you get a normal Shopify store, you would have to go down here and, delete, it would say like powered by Shopify, but for this template, we're actually perfectly fine, which is amazing. You don't even have to do it. So we're pretty much all good to go. That's kind of how I set up my homepage. It's super simple. I make sure to keep the colors, pretty neutral because we're gonna be testing different products on the store. So if you're using like a pink color and then the next product you want to test is some like male accessory or something like that, you're just gonna have to switch out more and do more customizing to get your page up and running. So I keep it simple while I'm testing products, and then once I actually find a winner, I'll go all out. I'll brand the pages, I'll brand the landing page, I'll make everything look super tailored to that product, and then we'll be scaling it. So that's kind of what I do. Also, I like to make sure the fonts look good. And what you can do, you can go to ChatGPT as well, put in your product, ask it for some fonts that you think would look good, and it's gonna spit you out like 1 to 10 prompts, or 1 to 10 fonts probably, and then you can just try those out, pick from those, or you can just simply go in here, go to typography, go to font, and then just like play around. You can just go through these, switch them out. As you can see, it's changing on the screen right now. We'll try a different one. So like, that was kind of cool too. We can leave it like that. So all you do is press select, and then it's gonna change pretty much all these headings for us. So that's pretty cool. But that's how we set up our homepage, guys. So we can go back into the checklist. We did our fonts, we switched out our images and our colors, and the next thing we're gonna do is actually our checkout. So checkout is super simple. You go back into the online theme editor, and then you're gonna press this button right here and checkout in customer accounts. Click on it. We can say leave page. We don't need to save. You guys wanna make sure you save your information, but now we're in the checkout, and basically you guys are not gonna have a logo here, so I'm gonna remove this. This is like kind of what your checkout's gonna look like. So we wanna put our logo back, so we just do add image and then done. And as you get, whoa, why is it so big? Okay, there we go. You can set that to 100, 110. Just make it reasonable, make it look nice. And then for these colors down here, I just set them to black usually. It just looks super clean, super simple, and that's basically all we do to set up our checkout. You just wanna make sure you have your logo in there. It just looks like more legit, more trustworthy. So just make sure you guys set that up. And then that's pretty much all you gotta do for checkout. We already did the footer. That was the bottom part that we talked about, so that's all good. And then the last thing we need to set up here is gonna be the menu. So I'm gonna check it off real quick and then take you guys over here, and we're gonna go back to, we can press the, I believe we can just press the back button here. All right, so we're back in our online store theme, as you guys can see. And to change your menu, we're simply gonna press on these 3 dots right here, and it's gonna select this kind of, top section with the, the cart bag, the search bar, and then menu. And then it'll say menu on the side. We're gonna click on this and press edit. And once we press edit, this will say catalog actually. So you would press this little pen right here, change it to shop now, or you could put your product name. I usually just do shop. You don't have to overthink it. It's not gonna really make that much of a difference as long as you use one of those 3. And then for the link, you're gonna make sure that you go down to products and select whatever product you're running. So I'll select the vibration plate, obviously. I already did it, so I don't have to save. But then you guys would save this menu, go back here, reload the site, and then once you press on these 3 dots, you'll see there'll be a shop selection in the menu. And then once you actually press on it, it's gonna take you to the product page. This is like a copy, so it's not gonna look correct, but this is exactly what I do to set up the stores that I took to 0 to 1K a day, my $1 million stores. This is how I set them up. So now you guys know everything that you need to know to run a store. And what's really cool is we have this checklist for you guys in the link below. So make sure you guys check it out, follow along, make sure you complete all the steps. And then in the next video, I'm gonna be showing you guys how I set up my AI-powered landing pages so we can actually get customers to our product page and start converting them. I will see you guys in the next one. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys the exact process of how I build out my landing pages to go from $0 to $1,000 a day, just like we did with the case study. The landing page is the most important part of your store. It's where 98% of the traffic is sent to. So that's why we really focus on it and try to make it as good as possible. So as you guys can see on the screen right here, this is what an optimized landing page looks like. This is the same landing page template that we use on our case study store that we're now doing 1.5K in revenue with, and the same template I even use to scale my product from $0 to $1 million a month. And so guys, we actually built out a landing page checklist for you, as you can see on the screen right here. So it's super easy and simple to follow, and let's just get straight into this. So first things first, we're gonna upload our template. And as always, you can find the link to this template down below. All right, so to upload this template, we're simply gonna go into Shopify. So to do this, we're gonna be using a tool called Gem Pages. And I use Gem Pages for all my stores. I think it's the best way to build an optimized landing page. It's fully customizable. There's really no limits to what you can do on Gem Pages. And it's just what I've learned just to set me apart from the competition. And if you guys want to use Gem Pages, we do have a link below for you guys, so make sure to check that out. But let's just get straight into this. We're gonna go over to Gem Pages Builder. So you guys are not gonna have the template on the Gem Pages thing yet. So to do this, you're simply gonna go over to Pages, and then you're gonna go over to the top right and click Import Page, just right here. And so you'll simply just click on it, and then if you downloaded it, it'll be over here, or you'll just have to add file, and then add it from your files like so. And then it's gonna take a couple minutes to upload, but once it uploads, it's gonna look something like this. As you guys can see, this landing page is fully done. It looks super clean, super branded, and the first thing we're gonna do when it comes to making this landing page happen is our product photos. So to actually do our product photos, first we wanna make sure that we have our product selected here. If you guys are running a different product, which you will be, you need to make sure that you go over, click on this, and then pick your product. Usually, it's gonna be just right in here. You're just gonna select whatever product you're running, and then update it. We already done that, so we don't need to do that right now. But next thing you want to do is go back into Shopify actually, go to products, and then select the product that you want to make some photos for. Now I have that product selected, and as you guys can see, I already have some really good photos in here, and I made all of these photos you see with AI, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do that right now. All right guys, this is how I generated this image. So as you guys can see on the screen right here, this is the prompt. I simply, plugged it into ChatGPT. But actually, first thing I did is I went over to Amazon and I found a competitor's photo. So I believe I took this photo right here, and if you guys want to see how to do that really quick, it's pretty simple. You just click on it, double click it. You can either copy it, you can save it, and then I just threw that into ChatGPT, as you can see. And then I also, dragged over my logo and put it in here. It's not loading, but that is my logo. And then I told Chat, make this image for Nirvani and make it look like a studio image with the logo. And so now what it did, it put our logo on the product, and this set the foundation. So now we can go ahead and create some really good images that look super branded. As you guys can see, the next thing I did was insert the prompt. And if we scroll down, we inserted the image that we wanted them to use as well. Just make sure to if Chat asks you for something, just give it. That's what I did. It said it wanted a photo image to use, so I just gave it the one we just created. And then next thing you know, it spit this out. Look at this, guys. Looks super clean. Looks like it was shot in a literal studio, and it's completely made with AI. So next, we're gonna do a social proof photo. And as you can see, we also have a prompt ready to go for you guys. These prompts are gonna be in the description, by the way. And to do this, we just simply inserted it into ChatGPT, just like this. And as you scroll down, so as you guys can see, it asked us for a product photo, a key benefit, key promise, and a review badge, and all this stuff. And so I kind of just gave it the image. It was like, just do it like this. And then I gave it a little headline, fitness in just minutes. And this is what it's gonna spit out for us. So as you guys can see, this is another really, really clean image. Studio quality. It's got the 50K plus 5-star reviews, which makes your brand super trustworthy, looks super good, and it gives it that feel that it's just been it's been around for a while, which is super important. As you guys can see, this is another prompt, and we're simply just gonna plug it straight into ChatGPT again. We'll go into chat right now, and I'll show you guys what it spit out. You don't even have to put anything else on it. You don't even have to look at the prompt. You just got to copy and paste it, and it's going to spit you out something like this. As you guys can see, this is the AI generated image that ChatGPT just created for us. And look, it even added a little splash effect. It added a new headline, feel the vibration. And this is just another piece of high quality content that we can use for our landing page to get some conversions. And then next we have the in-use action prompt. So this is basically just gonna give, ChatGPT the command, hey, I want this product, but I want a picture where it looks like it's being used. So I'll show you guys on the landing page exactly how ChatGPT did this. And as you guys can see, it created this photo for us right here that we just plug straight in. And it's just a, in-shape woman just standing, or I guess crouching, on our vibration plate, and it just looks really good. It looks super realistic, looks studio, fits our site perfectly, and it just did a great job. And then I even threw in an extra little prompt for you guys, so you guys can copy and paste this one, and I'll show you exactly what it spit out. Alright guys, so we just created some high quality product photos that we can use for our site, just like the ones you see on the screen right now. So now we're gonna go back to our little list here. We're gonna check off, these top two that we already did. All right guys, so now we're gonna be doing our headlines. And as you can see on the site right now, I already have all of these done, but basically what I did is I just, copied and pasted all these headlines from the template and just asked it to make it for our product. Or you can ask it to, spit you out 5 to 10, and then you can choose whichever one you like, or what you're feeling at the moment. And that's basically what I do for headlines. It's really simple, but we're just using ChatGPT, and ChatGPT just knows way better than any of us what it's doing, so you have to trust it. And then now that we have our headlines done, we gotta do our descriptions, which also, shocker, we use ChatGPT for. So literally what I would do, on this benefits drop down or on the how to use, just press the plus. Whatever is in here is gonna be like probably for this product, but you guys can simply copy and paste it, put in a chat, be like, hey, make me a benefits list like this, but for X product, which would be your product. You can do the same exact thing with the how to use, and it's gonna give you like something exactly like this, but obviously for your product. And then that's how they're made. So next thing we gotta do is our social proof. So social proof is like the examples that, someone has bought this product and they like it, or they love it, or they're using it and they're just enjoying it. So as you can see right here, we have our what our customers are saying section, and these are basically just some testimonials. And so all you really have to do is literally what I just told you to do for the rest of the stuff. It's kind of repetitive, but you copy and paste. You go into the site. I'll show you guys on Gem real quick. You go scroll down here, copy, paste it, throw it in the chat, be like, hey, make this for my product. And if you guys want to be descriptive, if you have like a certain tone or a certain feel even that you're trying to convey, then you can do that as well. You can get really creative with it, but you don't really have to necessarily. Next thing we're gonna do is FAQs. So same thing. You can either just straight up ask ChatGPT. This is what I usually do. I don't copy and paste every FAQ question. It's like, hey, you already know my product. What are like 5 good FAQ questions that I can include on my site? And then it's gonna do it for you. And it's gonna spit out something exactly like this. So as you guys can see, what results can I expect and how fast? Like that's what a lot of people are gonna be asking. Just really good questions here. So it will spit you out something exactly like this. You have the template, and all you have to do is plug and play, which is very, very nice. So that is the FAQs. And then for reviews, we use Looks. And we use Looks because it's very, very convenient. You can just simply go to AliExpress, choose your product and then import reviews that way, instead of, either having to wait or having to like fake reviews, which is kind of like, not what you want to do. And it's just a good overall tool to use. So I'm gonna show you guys how to set that up right now. First things first, make sure you guys go down in the description below and use our link to sign up for Looks. And then now I'm gonna show you how to use it. All right guys, so right now we're in the Looks dashboard. Simply just gonna go over to reviews, right? Press import, and then you can choose AliExpress or whatever. And then it's gonna want you to drag an icon. I'll show you right now. So I want you to drag this to your, what is this called? Your bookmarks bar. And it's really simple. I already did it, obviously. And the reason it does this is because now all we have to do to get reviews on our site, which is like ridiculous, is press AliExpress, find a listing of a product. We're gonna use this one. Right now, we're gonna go into AliExpress and look for our product listing that has a decent amount of reviews that we can use for our site. So guys, now we're at the listing for our product. First things first, you wanna make sure it actually looks like your product, because if it doesn't, the reviews, they might have photos in them and they might not make sense. And your customer will be like, well, there's one product up here, but at the bottom where the reviews are, it looks completely different. That's obviously gonna seem scammy, so do not do that. But simply just press import to looks, select your product, which is the vibration plate. And then if you wanna select, 4 stars and up, that's something that's fine to do. And then press preview and import. And then you're just simply gonna press import on all these reviews, just like this. Make sure, I would read through them and to make sure it doesn't like mention like anything that could drive the customer away. But next thing you know, your reviews on your site are gonna look exactly like this. Super clean, super simple, and yeah, that's how we set up reviews. So the last thing we're gonna talk about is colors and fonts. And we're on the site right here, and as you guys can see, it's very neutral. And I do this for a reason. I keep it neutral so that I can change from any niche I want and not have to go through and like change all these little colors everywhere. And it just saves me a lot of time. And it allows me to test products much faster than I would originally. And I just don't have to like mess with as many things on my site. So, for example, you can use something like black, like gray, like even neutral colors, like little earth tones sometimes work for everything. You just gotta be smart, and that's what I recommend. And another simple thing that you can do is just look at the competitors. Look at people who are already selling, already doing big numbers, and you can kind of emulate what they're doing. What do their color palettes look like, or what kind of fonts are they using? How's their site like looking just off rip? And that's something that I like to do, so make sure you guys take advantage of that. But with that is the rest of the checklist done. And now I want you guys to take all of this information I just gave you and put together your first landing page before we move on to the next video. In the next video, I'm gonna be giving you guys some hacks that you can use to maximize revenue for every order that you get on your store. I will see you there. In this video, I'm gonna be showing you guys some very important back-end setups that we need to implement on our store so we can optimize and make as much revenue per customer as possible. So as you guys can see here, this is OmniSend. I use OmniSend for my simple email setups when I'm starting a store, and there's gonna be a link in the description if you guys wanna check it out. So let's go over to OmniSend. Let me pull it up on Shopify here. So we're in OmniSend, and I do already have it set up, but it is very, very simple to set up, and I'll kind of show you what they have prepared for you once you get it all done and ready. So as you see here, they're gonna make you an abandoned checkout, which basically this is gonna be sent to any customer that checks out with your product but doesn't purchase. This is really, really crucial. This will get you, I don't have a percentage in mind, but it's gonna get you a lot of recovered sales that you could have gotten, but that just didn't go through. So huge, huge thing. It's gonna get you an abandoned cart flow as well. So this is very important. It's just like checkout, but it's with the cart. And then it's also gonna get you a welcome flow. And the welcome flow is super important because once you start a brand or you start testing, but mainly scaling a product, you wanna make sure you have a welcome flow set up so you can start getting all these emails in from your customer, building your email list, and then later you can start sending campaigns to that and just earning even more revenue with it. And on my store that I scaled to $1 million a month, we've done hundreds of thousands of dollars just with email marketing, so it's a very important thing. Don't forget to set this up. So guys, these are the 3 flows that OmniSend will send up for you, as I mentioned before. Emails are super, super important, so just make sure you set up these exact flows before you move on to the next step. So now the next thing we're gonna be setting up is called After Sell. And what After Sell does, it's a post-purchase upsell. So when your customer checks out and actually buys a product, they're gonna get sent to a page that has another upsell that is not gonna affect your conversion rate. It's not gonna stop the customer in their tracks. It's literally free revenue. So it's super important to set up. And we have the link, as you guys can see on the screen, right here for you guys in the description. So make sure you check it out. But for the time being, let's set this thing up. So here we are in After Sell on Shopify. All we're gonna do is come over here, create funnel, and then we're gonna do the upsell machine. And as you see here, max discount, you can leave to 30. That's a pretty good point to, pretty good place to be. And then we're gonna go and edit the funnel. And I just kinda wanna show you guys what they set up for us. So they already have this automatically set up. You can just leave it like this. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna send the customer first to the most expensive item in your cart. So it's probably, like in this instant, they're just gonna be sent to a link to buy another vibration plate, but it's gonna be at a discounted price. And this is super, super enticing to a customer because they just purchased it at this price and they already put in their card information, they put everything in. And so all they have to do now is press a button and they get another, item, and it's way cheaper. So it does a lot more revenue for me personally. It does probably like 5 to 10% more revenue every day just from after sale. So it's super important to set up. But yeah, I would make sure that before you guys move on, make sure to set up after sale and OmniSend. In the next module, I'm gonna show you guys everything I do with Facebook ads. I'm gonna show you how to set up their campaigns, make ads with AI, and do everything that I used when I got my store to $1 million per month. I'll see you guys in there.